Hi, welcome once again to my channel. If today is your first time, you are welcome. So in today's video, we are going to learn how to make this love shape beaded bag. Yes, this is a very beautiful bag that you can send for parties, outing, date nights, girls outing and all that. So without wasting much time, let's get right into the video. So here are the materials we'll be needing for this project. We have our 8mm sugar bead, we have our pearls, we have our 0.7 fishing line, we also have our scissors. So let's get into the video. Cut a thread to the length that you can control very well and pick 5 beads and put on the fishing line and cross with the 5th bead. Pull it down to the bottom of the thread. So after you pull it, this is what you are going to get. And open the thread again and pick 5 beads again and put 2 on each thread and cross with the last 1 bead, making 5 beads. After crossing with the 5th bead, pull it down to join the first work you have done. So you realize that the middle one, or you realize that this will now become 6 beads on this project. So go ahead again, pick 4 beads, put 1 on one thread and put 3 on the other thread and cross with the 3rd one. And after crossing, you pull it down to join the work you are doing. So you realize that your thread has turned to one side of the work you are doing. And then what you have done so far, you are going to realize that the first flower is 5, the middle is 6, and the last one is 5. So you realize that the thread has turned to one side. Yes. So you are now going to make use of the thread on your right hand side. So go ahead and pick 5 beads and put them on the right hand side fishing line and cross with the 5th bead. After crossing with the 5th bead, go ahead and use the thread on your right hand side to enter the next 2 beads below it. After that, take the thread on your left hand side and pick 3 beads and cross with the 3rd one. Enter the next 2 beads again with your right fishing line and pick 3 beads to the fishing line on your left hand side. After putting them on the fishing line, cross with the 3rd bead. Take the fishing line on your right hand side and enter the next one bead. Then pick 4 beads. Put 3 on the fishing line that is on your right and 1 on the fishing line that is on your left, and cross with the 1 on the left fishing line. So now we've completed the second row, and this is what our work is looking like right now. So now turn your work over, and the thread that is on your right hand, pick 5 beads and put them on the thread and cross with the 5th bead. Now use the fishing line on your right hand side and enter the next 2 beads. Take the fishing line on your left hand side and pick 3 beads and cross with the 3rd bead. We are going to repeat this process until we get to the last bead. Now turn your work over and pick 4 beads. Put 1 on the fishing line on your right hand side and 3 on the fishing line on your left hand side, and cross with the 3rd bead. So after crossing with the 3rd bead, this is what we are getting, and we are done with the 3rd row. And you realize that all the work on the 3rd row is 6 in each. Take the thread that is pointing to the top, which is on your left hand side, pick 4 beads and put all of them on the thread and cross with the 4th bead. So with the right fish line, you go to the next 2 beads. And on the fish line that is on your left, you pick 3 beads and cross with the 3rd bead. Please pull the fish line to make your work very tight, and with your right fish line, you go through the next 2 beads. You pick 3 beads and cross with the 3rd one. So we are going to repeat this process until we get to the last bead. So now on your last bead, you enter the last bead with the right fishing line and put 2 beads on it. And on your fishing line, you put 2 beads on it and cross with the second one on the left fish line. So just watch me carefully. So turn your work over and the fishing line that is on your left, pick 5 beads and put them on it and cross with the 5th bead. Now enter the next 2 beads and pick 3 beads and cross with the 3rd bead. So you are going to continue this process until you get to the last bead. After you enter the last 2 beads, you are going to pick 3 beads and put it on the fishing line that is pointing to the top or the fishing line that is on your right hand side and cross with the 3rd bead. So after crossing with the 3rd bead, you are going to enter the next 1 bead with your right fishing line. So at this point, we are done with 1/2 side of the love shape of one side. So we are going to weave the middle line that will divide, that will give the shape of the love to the back. So you pick the thread that is on your left, the fishing line that is on your left, and you pick 4 beads and cross to the 4th bead. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next 2 beads and pick 3 beads and cross with the 3rd bead. So after you enter the next 2 beads, pick 3 beads and cross with the 3rd bead. So you are going to continue this process until you get to the last bead. When you get to the last bead, you enter with your right fishing line to the next 1 bead and fix 3 beads on that same fishing line and cross with the 3rd bead. After picking the 3 beads and cross with the 3rd bead, it to add up to 5. So you realize that on this row you have 6 throughout, and the last circle or the last flower is 5. So with your left fish line, enter the next one bead. In your right fishing line, you pick 4 beads and cross with the 4th one. So what we did at the half side of the love shape is the same thing we are coming to repeat at the other side of the love shape. So you cross with the 4th bead, you enter the next 2 beads and pick 3 beads and cross with the 3rd bead. So you are going to repeat this process until you get to the last point of the bead. You are going to enter the next 2 beads, pick 3 beads and cross with the 3rd one. So you repeat the same process until you get to the end. So at the last point, you put the 3 fishing line on the fishing line that is on your right and cross with the 3rd bead, and then you go to the next 2 beads. So you enter the next 2 beads and pick 4 beads and cross with the 4th bead. Pick 4 beads to your left fishing line and cross with the 4th bead and enter the next 2 beads, and then you continue with 3 beads. After you cross with the last bead, use the thread that is on your right hand side to enter the next 1 bead, and then you pick 4 beads to the fishing line that is on your left hand side, pointing to the top. You pick 4 beads and cross with the 4th bead. After crossing with the 4th bead, enter the next 2 beads with your right fishing line, and then you pick 3 beads to your left hand fishing line and cross with the 3rd bead. So you are going to continue this process until you get to the last bead on this row. So on the last row, when you enter the next two beads, you are going to pick 3 beads and cross with the third bead. But the bead, you are going to put them to the fishing line that was on your right hand side. Yes, then after that, you enter the next one bead and pick 3 beads to cross with the third bead. And then you enter the next 2 beads and pick 3 beads and cross with the last bead, which is the third bead. So when you enter the last 2 beads, then you pick 2 beads and cross with the second bead. So on this last row, you realize that on the row, the top circle or the top flower is 5, the middle is 6, and the last is also 5, which correspond to the other side or the other half of the love shape. So at this point, we are done. We are just going to weave around it to be able to make a bag. So now I'm passing my leftover thread through several beads and bring the 2 edges together and tie it to secure my work. And then after that, I'll be taking a new thread to begin weaving around the mat. So when you take a new thread, count 5 from the middle point of the love shape, and the next from the 6th one to the 7th one, you insert your thread. Then you put 2 beads on the fishing line pointing to the top and take another one making 3 beads and cross with the third one. So that's what I'm going to do all round. Then after crossing with the third bead, you continue the same way by entering every 2 beads with the fishing line on your right hand side, and then you pick 3 beads and cross with the third bead. So you are going to continue this all round to where when you count 5 from the middle of the love shape, you get what is left, what we left at the other side as well. I hope you understand what I'm explaining, so just continue watching me very carefully and you get what I mean. So I've gotten to where I will stop, and then I'm securing my thread by passing through several beads and bring the 2 edges together, and I'll tie a knot. And I'll tie a knot. After that, I'm done with one side, and I went ahead to do the other side. So I'll bring the 2 sides together and then I'll join them together. So continue washing. So just go ahead and do the second part of this bag by following the same procedure and join the 2 together. So I went ahead and do the second part off camera, and I did 2 sides, and the one I showed you right now, I did 1 side. So I'm joining all the 2 sides together, making the size of the side will now be 4. So now put the 2 sides together, and the thread on one of them is pointing to the top. You put 1 bead on that one, and then you enter 2 beads on the side of the other side of the back. You enter and come out from 2 beads, and then you cross with 1 bead again. So continue washing. You are going to continue with the same process by joining it. So 1 bead on the thread pointing to the top, and then you enter 2 sides of the other side of the back, and then you cross with 1. So you are going to continue the same process. You enter 2 beads on each side, then you cross with 1. You enter 2 beads on each side and cross with 1. I'll meet you at the end. So on the last bead, I come out from 3 beads, and then I'll take 2 beads to cross with the second one. You can put it on any of the thread and cross with the second one. And as you can see, our bag is gradually coming together. So now I'm doing the handlebar. It's unfortunate where I started from is not showing. So the way I did it is that I open a thread, I take a new thread and enter from any 2 beads on the corner there, on like at where you insert your bag handle, and I open it and I put 2 beads on each thread and cross with the second bead. So that's what I'm going to do throughout the length of the handle I want. If I get the size of the handle or the length of the handle I want, then I can just end and fix it to the other side. So continue washing, you may understand. And sorry for not showing the beginning. It's not my fault. The phone was off what I was doing and I didn't know. And yeah, after fixing the handle, this is what our bag is looking like right now. We are done with the bag. Thanks very much for watching this video up to this point. I'm very grateful. Please go ahead and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and my Facebook page as Just Craft everywhere. Just follow me. If you make your own bag, you can send me a picture on Instagram or Facebook. Thank you very much once again. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.